Fun. It's an interesting concept. Chances are, as a child first experiencing a video game, it was fun that first brought you to the medium. As a young gamer breaking virgin ground in the landscape of video games, chances are it was the colourful worlds filled with adventure and, yes, I'll say it again, fun, that first captivated your inquiring mind.
Now, fun can get you a long way in video games. Take Mario for example. If you were to isolate him, stripping him away from the fun-filled world of the Mushroom Kingdom, then he very quickly becomes a Ron Jeremy lookalike, ready to shoot some skin flick with a loose plumbing theme.
In order to get to the first level, you gotta get past first.
But you see, Mario was never intended to be taken at face value. He was designed to exclusively exist in the fun-drenched confines of the Nintendo universe. And because of that fun, he was able to become the most popular character in all of video gaming history. That's the power of fun, kids.
These days, it feels like fun is something altogether absent from the video gaming climate, and nowhere is this more so apparent than in the realm of first-person shooters. This generation has seen an avalanche of graphically astounding, hyper-realistic examples of the FPS genre. And yes, while these games are obviously supremely popular, I have to ask, where's the fun gone?
With over a decade of reports from Middle Eastern war zones filling our TV screens and the nightly news, who in the right mind wants to be reminded of the horrors of war when they sit down to enjoy some video game-based escapism?
Now, I'm not saying those games, your CODs and your Battlefields, aren't worthy games in themselves. They're highly polished examples of a genre for which there's obviously a supremely high demand. I'm just saying I'm not sure it's what I'm looking for anymore. Not least because it tends to turn people like this into people like this.
Oh my God! You got me fucking shit me! What the fuck?
Poor guy looks like he's about to shout one of his own kidneys. And I don't want that for you. I care about you. I need you. Please, sub.
Do it!
Something segue, enter Overwatch.
The open beta has just finished after a cool 5 days, and this gamer has finished the experience mightily impressed. Why? Well, I'll tell you. Overwatch is fun. A hell of a lot of fun. Pure, unadulterated fun in the best way possible. Man, that's a lot of hyperbole for one sentence.
What's more, Overwatch feels original, and yes, while you could argue that taken on its own it doesn't contain all that too many truly innovative factors, it isn't a game that's trying to reinvent the FPS wheel. It's simply one that's presenting the tropes we know and love, packaged in a way that feels new.
Something that was altogether absent in the Doom beta I played last month. Sure, it was fun for a little while, but it very quickly began to feel like any other sci-fi shooter. The problem was it felt derivative, something that is all too common in a host of FPS games that have released this generation.
Overwatch, I'm happy to report, does not suffer from such a fate.
Blizzard, a company that doesn't seem to know how to make bad games, has crafted an excellent FPS, stocked to the brim with interesting, larger-than-life characters running around in a technicolor world that harkens back to an older age, wherein worlds in video games look like our own, but were simply better, more animated, dipped in colour, and fed through one of Willy Wonka's Presto Changeo machines before being transformed into something that looked like it belonged only in one of our wildest dreams. The art design here is superb, and it's Blizzard down to a T. It's what they do, and they do it so well. The levels themselves really pop, with incandescent colours laid over a world part caricature, part stylised dreamscape. They really are the perfect playground for the game's many characters to inhabit. On the very point of which, the character designs themselves all sing. Each and every one is distinctive and interesting in their very own right. That's not to say there aren't some misses amongst the roster, there of course are, but on the whole, the cast of Overwatch seems incredibly well balanced. So, what of the cast? Well, there's 21 of them split into 4 different categories, those being attack, defense, tank, and support. You'll be needing a nice mixture of all of them if you're going to succeed in any meaningful way in the game's multiplayer. Mastering one or two seemed to be the way it went for most folks, and while the roster is extremely well balanced, during the beta I did occasionally find myself going up against a lot of the same characters, namely Reaper, Hanzo and Bastion, who were outright the most popular, at least in my experience.
George Carlin once remarked about driving that anyone going slower than you is an idiot and anyone going faster is a maniac. And the same sentiment can be appropriated to Overwatch, insofar as anyone doing badly with a character doesn't know how to use them properly, whilst anyone doing good is cheap.
Honestly though, it doesn't really matter because the game is always fun. I've lost countless games and been hopelessly torn to shreds by an army of turret spammers, but amazingly the game remained fun because it allows you to counter each character you face with an opposing character that's been created to do exactly that. It's balance at its true finest. Of course, this being an FPS, most people come to Overwatch eager for the currency that they're most used to, kills. But Blizzard have pulled off a masterstroke in Overwatch, in that they've created a game in which kills aren't the primary source of measuring one's success in the game. Instead, it's teamwork that's valued above all else. Now, admittedly, this works much better when you're playing with a group of your own friends, which I honestly did. But even without your IRL allies, the game makes you feel like a utilitarian cog in a greater machine, rather than a lone mercenary in it for the guts and glory alone. Some of my favourite games were the ones in which I played a support character, dealing out heals and buffs more so than bullets and frags, which, let me tell you, is no mean feat. I'd go as far as to say that this is the first game, for me personally, that truly makes every single person on the team feel like they matter with regards to the match's outcome. And that, my friends, is an impressive achievement.
Bombastic, confident, and yes, I'm gonna say it again just in case you missed it the last 9 times fun, Overwatch is a game that to me feels long overdue, and I for one won't be surprised when it becomes this generation's next big hit. So Dude Quest is back, officially, and this time we're not going anywhere. So this is it, Year 0, Season 1. Everything that came before this, let's put that down as the channel's pilot, which if you want to check out, please feel free and go right ahead. You'd be really making our day. If you want to go one better, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It'd mean the world to us. Well, not the world, but still, it'd be pretty cool. Thanks.